If you were inspired by the determination of Alvaro Silberstein in our last episode, then there's more in store for you today, especially if you're a part of the growing community of travelers with disabilities. I'm back with Alvaro Silberstein, founder of Wheel the World, to learn about the best accessible destinations for travelers who need a little extra support as they venture out to see the world. Today, he's sharing the top 5 bucket list experiences for travelers with disabilities. So let's start the journey. What's a good starter experience for somebody who might be unsure? Maybe they're traveling with a disability and it's their first time really going somewhere on their own.
I will recommend the city that I live in, San Francisco. You have accessible Ubers to go everywhere. It's a pretty accessible city, beautiful places, beautiful weather. You might encounter some hilly places, but you can avoid them. You, as a wheelchair user, or someone who has a disability, most of the touristing places are not the hilly ones. So it's a beautiful city to visit. You have accessible transportation to go everywhere, accessible accommodations, and the attractions are pretty accessible as well.
Patagonia is already a bucket list destination for so many adventure travelers. How did you navigate the terrain, and what advice do you have to other people for preparing for that trip?
I think the best way is to reach out to Wheel the World, because we have everything prepared for you so you can have a trip to Patagonia. How to prepare for that? We have a specific equipment. You will need to figure out a good gear equipment because the weather there is challenging. Sometimes it can be raining, it can be cold, it can be hot. It changes a lot. So good equipment is important.
You did Patagonia, you conquered that. What is another destination that somebody might think is off limits if they have a disability, but you know from firsthand experience that it can be done?
Well, we were one of the first companies to put together a wheelchair-friendly tour in Machu Picchu, for example. So that's something that I also assumed that it was impossible for me to do it. And we do hundreds of people every year to travel to Machu Picchu. An accessible safari in South Africa, scuba diving in the Ribera Maya in Mexico. We collaborate with a scuba diving guide that is certified to do adaptive scuba diving. So yes, all those adventures are possible for everyone.
What is one destination that the community is super excited about this year? What's trending for accessible travel?
Yes, so the one that we request a lot is Japan. Everyone wants to travel to Japan. In my bucket list, I'm traveling to Japan in 1 month, and I will be collaborating with local partners to put together a multi-days trip in Japan for our community.
Besides Patagonia, because I'm assuming that's your favorite trip ever, what was the best vacation you've had that you would recommend to other travelers?
Chile, visit my country. It's beautiful. Go and visit. You have the desert, you have nature, you have a beautiful city. The accessibility is not the best, but we have find a way to explore it in an accessible way with accessible transportation and accommodations. So Chile would be a recommendation. One of my favorite offering is our group tours. Basically, what we realized is that people were interested in traveling together, people with disabilities, and we put together these group tours that is maximum 10 people. Normally, it's 5 people that are wheelchair users or different disabilities plus companions, traveling to Costa Rica, South Africa, Greece, Italy. And the amazing thing is people traveling together became friends. They decided to travel to other places again with the same people. And building community is something that I'm super passionate about, and it's amazing about what have happened so far with the Wheel the World journey so far.
That's super inspiring, and I love that you've taken what was a life-altering moment and you continued going for exactly what you wanted out of life, and you've turned it into something that's helped thousands of people. So that's incredible.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Angie.
Alvaro Silberstein, thank you for joining us. And thank you, our listeners, for being with us. If you're planning a trip, be sure to connect with a AAA travel advisor. Check out AAA.com/travel or visit your local branch. This podcast is a production of Auto Club Enterprises. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and leave us a review. I'm Angie Orth. Thank you for traveling with AAA.